Monday morning, October 21st, 2024. I'm John Paul Flame, joined by Jason Bishop.
Morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you.
Johnny Cakes Allville is here.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
And Eric Bickle.
You know what to do, Cakes. You know what to do, buddy.
I do know what to do.
You know
On a
what to
Victory
do.
Monday.
Get that thing queued up.
Victory Monday, brought to you by Chiniga Mayos, a 2024 top workplace. Visit careers.mios.com. You know what?
I can get used to
Chiniga
this.
Mayos, they're getting their money's worth this year.
They are.
They didn't even get 5 of these last year.
Do they sponsor Misery Monday or just
I think
Victory
so.
Monday? They
I
do
think so,
both?
but
yeah, so that's
a little
great.
more bang for your buck on Victory Monday, I think.
And a Marcus Mariota Victory Monday, which
That was the most stunning part of it.
Very
How well he
surprising.
came in and played.
yeah, I mean,
I tip my cap to him, man. I mean, see if he could do it next week if we need him.
look, I think he obviously tops out as a backup, but he looked like a pretty high-level backup when he came in yesterday.
Well,
He
now
looked
you don't.
pretty good.
Now
Carolina's bad.
Against the
Carolina's
Panthers,
bad.
and
Yeah.
again, you don't want him doing that for more than I think 1 or 2 weeks.
I'm with you.
Obviously, but I mean, it worked out. Whatever they paid him, it was all worth it for that win yesterday.
I think they said this on the broadcast, and I've never heard this before, and I'm sure it's happened before,
Mhm.
but I just don't remember hearing this. And I can't remember which player said that they had to go to preseason
Yeah.
film to look at some of the guys on Carolina.
Oh,
They're
wow.
Because
so
that's
bad.
how banged up they are, too.
Carolina
Yeah.
They're
are-
bad. They're banged up that they
That
didn't
was-
even have the ability to look at like last week's game for a lot of these guys. They had to go to the preseason
Not
film.
only are the Carolina Panthers under-talented and inept and woeful, all those things, they might be stupid too, because why do you wait until like 5 minutes left in the game to play Bryce Young? Like when you know that you don't
Well,
have a prayer in the game, why doesn't he show up earlier? I don't understand.
should've
I
started
don't
the
know.
second
Why
half.
would he? I was going to say, why even put him in the game?
Who, Bryce Young?
Well,
At that point.
At that point,
Yeah,
there's
it
no
didn't make
reason.
sense.
Didn't make any sense.
What
No,
are
he
they
should have
doing?
started the second half.
Like you're
I
bad.
mean, Dalton wasn't banged up, was he?
You're a bad outfit.
he was
and
just bad.
He was horrible,
I mean,
yeah.
I thought Dave Canales kind of knew what he was doing. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's just a big stooge too. I don't know.
That was a varsity against a JV.
yeah. I mean, it's just a thorough
But you know what?
ass kicking.
That's exactly what we needed. I was nervous. I'm not going to say I predicted it. I did not predict it. I thought it was going to be a tough game, but that was exactly what you're supposed to do to a bad team.
Absolutely. You
Which
bury that one.
showed that there is some legitimacy to this team.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Ravens are better, but that was a dominating
And-
victory. That's what you're supposed to do, and to do that without Jayden,
Mhm.
unbelievable.
Give kudos to Drab T-shirt. His prediction of the Commanders winning 99-0, I think was the closest out of all of
Was
us.
that what the prediction was?
I believe-
I felt it.
Yeah. I mean, if that game had gone any longer, they would have beaten them basically 99-0. It
Well,
was so one-sided.
Do you know who has the highest
Unbelievable.
point differential right now on the positive side in the NFL?
I guess it's
I'm
the
guessing.
their
I think
name
we're us
rhymes
by
with the
3 points.
Schmushmanders.
I think we're up by 3, right?
Plus 66 on the season.
The Buffalo
5-2 atop the NFC East.
Yeah.
I've been saying this for a couple weeks now. All you got to do is go 500 the rest of the way. Go 500 the rest of the way, you get to 10 wins, and that's the playoffs. And
Well,
that
I'm
is the
starting to have
Houston
more
Texans like turnaround.
Yeah.
I wasn't brave enough to go with it, but I said it all offseason. There are teams that have these turnarounds every year, and it looks like the Commanders, at least right now, it looks like they're one of them.
Let me also give this guy kudos because he deserves it. Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh, yeah.
That guy
Yeah.
is like, he's like a god. I
I'm
mean,
tipping
just
my
bow
cap
down
to
that
him.
guy.
I'm tipping my cap to him.
That offense is scary.
For the sixth.
Well, Adam Peters should get some credit, too,
absolutely.
because
Of
the
course.
offensive line is so much better than it was last year.
Yeah.
So when Jayden's in there, or now when Marcus Mariota's in there, just a lot of time.
Yeah. I'll be honest. When Mariota went in, I tweeted, and I meant it with all my heart.
You're a
'cause I said
Driscoll guy.
I said I'd much rather see Driscoll run in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't think Marcus Mariota's any good, but I know that Jeff
just based
Driscoll.
on the preseason, I like Driscoll more, and Mariota shocked me. So hats off to him. Amazing. I didn't panic when Jayden got hurt. You obviously could see something was wrong with him.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe he'd be out 2-3 weeks. We'll still find out.
Right.
But I'm guessing just a bruised rib, maybe. I don't know. We're just guessing at this point. But the X-rays by reports, like leaked reports or whatever, negative.
Plus, his
But they're
mom
gonna do some
tweeted
more.
that he's okay.
Mom
Yeah.
tweeted he's fine, but
Mrs. Daniels said
there's-
he's okay.
the thing is, they're going to do more tests. And
Yeah.
anytime you do more tests, you might find something.
Sure.
I would say stop with the tests. That's just me, though, Cakes.
Right.
No, but I saw Zach Ertz talk about this afterwards, and he was really thankful for the organization and the.
I know
the
they
owners.
care about the player.
They care about the player.
I know.
So especially,
They do.
I get what you're saying, but you don't want him playing through
Well, there's
some
no
sort of
reason for him
injury.
to come back yesterday.
Right.
That
No.
was obvious from the beginning.
He
Like,
almost had a house call, by the way, on that first run.
Oh yeah.
well, the thing is,
He
that
cut
run was
back
sick.
to the inside. I felt like if he just went to the outside, he probably would have just run by everybody. But it
I
was
don't
a
know. The other
spectacular
guy had an
run.
angle on him. It was the first time we saw him go to that extra gear. Like, he's kind of been gliding,
Mhm.
in my opinion, through the first 5 games. And that one, he hit that extra gear, and we're like, oh, yeah. Now, I wonder where
But
he got hurt.
that's where it happened.
I think he
I'm
got
assuming
hurt
it was
there.
there when they
Because
landed
it was
on him.
awkward.
Yeah.
It was an awkward
And there were
fall.
screenshots of him holding his
Yeah.
rib as he was getting up from that pile.
Yes.
So
And then when
Probably
you
on
saw him
that run.
afterward, I almost wonder, I don't know if this is true. Can you pop something and then pop it back in? You know what I mean? Like
with
under
your
your rib
rib,
cage?
I don't know. That
because
I don't know.
he looked so much better. Like, I almost wonder if they did some manipulation or something because he looked so much better when he came back out.
Possibly.
You know what I mean?
I don't
Didn't
know.
look like he was in pain.
I don't know if your rib can just pop out of place and pop back in. That,
Maybe
I
not a
have no
rib,
idea.
maybe like a cartilage or something. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
don't know.
Something was off.
Painkillers.
It could be
Painkillers.
that. Could be that. Could be that. Not
Yeah,
gonna-
But yeah, I mean, he was just standing on the sideline and laughing and joking around,
Mhm.
but he's not moving
Laughing at how
around.
bad the
No, for
Panthers
sure.
are.
Yeah, so
for sure. I'm not saying he was perfect, but he just looked like he was a lot better.
But back to that offensive line, they give the quarterbacks time. The running game
Mhm.
is really, really strong this year. And
well,
then,
I'll be impressed, even though it's Carolina. The defense, forget it. I won't put too much stock in the fact that they didn't score much, but they just do look like they're more violent. They're just more active. So they are growing a little bit defensively. So maybe they're
I think
not.
so.
Maybe that's
Against
the
the
worst in
bad
football,
teams,
like
for
I thought
sure.
for a few
Look,
weeks.
Yeah, right.
They're beating up on bad teams.
For sure.
I can't remember. I think the combined record of the teams they've beaten in their 5 wins is something like 9-25.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But
but
that's
against,
what you're
bad,
supposed
against
to do,
bad
though.
teams,
Right.
they hold
You
them
are.
to,
You're supposed to do that.
low point totals. They held the Browns to 13, the Cardinals to 14, and the Panthers to 7.
Things can turn. Seasons are long. We've seen seasons turn before.
Mm-hmm.
We were horny for Zorny when they started off 6-2 years ago, and it went south. But right now, when you look at the NFC landscape, all right, the Lions are probably the best team in the NFC.
They're pretty
the
impressive.
49ers took it on the chin yesterday. Jason's
They
been saying
suck.
they struggle, right?
They've got ridiculous injuries.
And the Eagles might be on the come, and maybe they're figuring things out.
The Giants are
But the
horrendous.
Commanders are right there. The Commanders are a good team.
Yeah.
They're a
think
good team.
I think
Well, yeah,
they're
I mean, when
solid
you're
for
putting up
sure.
40 a game, yeah, they're
Yeah.
good.
I mean,
But you're
it's-
right. I mean, the 2 good teams they played, they lost to.
Listen, I don't think we're Super Bowl contenders or anything. This is just an amazing run. Awesome. I hope we could beat the Bears. If we lose to them, I'll be embarrassed, but we should win the following week against the Giants.
They've already won more games than they did all of last season.
I know.
Yeah.
And if you're holding an over 6.5 ticket, I mean, you're really liking your
You're-
chances at this point.
Oh, it's a lock.
I mean, it should be a lock.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to get 2 more wins.
I said you should be happy.
Yes.
You're kind of counting your money already.
It's actually, I'm kind of like speechless, to be honest with you.
Hey, I was wondering this.
It's hard to figure out what to do when they're
I-
5
I'm
and 2.
kinda speechless.
Like, we're
I
not
was
usually
wondering
in
this
spot.
about GB as a fan, because I know you love Jayden so much. When they start off the game with a pick 6, it's great because you get a lead, right? But you had to wait longer to see the offense. Are you a little torn there?
No, I mean, it was a while before Jayden got on there. I
Yeah.
mean, listen, let's be honest. Jayden makes the game more exciting.
Of course.
There's no doubt. In fact, when he went down with injury, I just started putting more. I just moved my putting mat in front of the TV, and I started putting more because I'm just less interested when Jayden's not
You
in
know what
there.
else is exciting? When Andy Dalton gift wraps a pick 6 to Dante Fowler Jr. He feels the slightest bit of pressure, and then he
Look,
says, "I don't want
That's
this.
another one
I
that
don't
blew
want this
me
ball
away.
anymore. Take it, please.
Which
take it
pick
to the end
was
zone."
worse, though? His second one was
The
horrendous.
one
Yeah,
that
but
Forbes
that
was a
wasn't on
total
him.
gift.
The
Dalton,
first one was
You
worse.
didn't see Dalton's reaction? Who was
one
the
to
receiver?
Forbes?
Deontay Johnson?
Oh,
He
you're supposed
stopped.
to cut in between.
He
Yeah.
stopped his route.
Right.
And Dalton went, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
So I'm not going to put the second one on Dalton. The
Yeah.
first one was terrible.
That was pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
I was just stunned.
And then Dalton went over to the bench after the second pick and was yelling he wasn't yelling at Deontay Johnson, but he was yelling at one of the coaches who was sitting there at the
Yeah.
bench.
I wish I had like an ISO cam on David Tepper, the Panthers owner, watching that game, watching Marcus Mariota carve up his team. I mean, just
Yeah.
surgically take them apart
Unbelievable. But
off the bench.
again, the weapons coming through. Sinat gets his
I know
touchdown.
you love the weapons.
Ertz, all the running backs contributing. All the receivers
You know what?
contributing.
Yesterday, Ertz actually had some yak
A little
on
bit.
that nice little slant
A
that he
little
ran.
bit. I mean, he's limited, but he is. They
Not
know
to
how
say
to
it was
utilize him.
I didn't say it was on every play. On that play, he had some yak.
Was
So good for him.
Washington ever as bad as Carolina?
Oh yeah.
Last year.
They weren't. No, they were better than
weren't
Carolina.
They weren't that. They
No, I
weren't
think we were
that
pretty
level
bad when Callahan took over, and we were just trying
just
to run
running the ball.
and get through the games in like 2.5 hours.
I still think that team was better than this Carolina team. This Carolina team is
I don't know.
They're-
I was stunned there.
That
Dreadful.
team is 5 to 7 years away from any sort of contention.
Well, let me
well,
say
no, they
this.
just got to get lucky with the quarterback, kind of like
Yeah.
Washington
You
did.
got to say this. They had played better in their previous games, 3 of them. They had beat the Raiders are dreadful. The Raiders are worse. They've proven that.
Raiders are bad. Yeah.
Raiders are worse.
Worse than Carolina?
I don't know.
I
No,
don't
they
think
did
so.
lose. They have the shame of losing.
Well, just
Carolina
because they
beat
beat
'em.
them. That's just because that.
You
Just
gotta
because
give
they
them
beat
the
them.
nod.
Again, that was the
They beat 'em.
artificial sugar hive where they benched Bryce Young and went to Andy Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah.
the whole newness
But
factor.
then the following week, they
Now
scored
that is-
24
that's-
against the
That's
Bengals.
dissipated.
They scored 20 against the Falcons last
No,
week.
holding them to 7. That was a really good job by the defense. Job well done.
Yeah. I don't know.
But they were just really, really bad.
You can't glean too much from it.
It's
but
a horrible
it's good.
defense.
Oh,
It's a horrible defense.
they are dreadful. Bet
Yeah.
against them every week.
Pick up Denver's defense in
Well,
your fantasy league
Play Bo Nix against them next week.
because
He's gonna have a big day.
Denver's going to kill.
I don't know about
Carolina.
that one.
He'll have a relatively big day against that
I
defense.
wouldn't bet on a big day
At
for
home?
Bo Nix.
He'll rush for like 50 yards against them.
Okay.
I mean, he might throw a couple touchdowns against
I
them.
wonder
You don't
if-
have your fantasy brain on, JP.
Yeah.
If quarterback
turn
runs
your
for
fa-
50, it
turn
turns
your
into
fantasy
an
brain
It's
on.
elite
called
day.
stats as well. Like he's gonna have good
I know, but
stats against them.
Bo Nix he just doesn't put up big numbers.
Generally, no. But when you face Carolina, look at what look what Marcus Mariota just did to them.
Yeah.
Straight off the bench.
Hey, kudos to Mariota. Another guy who's really been a standout pretty much all season. Maybe not in the first couple games. Didn't notice him as much. Luvu's
been great.
Luvu's a stud.
Had his revenge game against the Panthers.
He did.
You got to factor that in always.
You don't know what to make of it because it was the Panthers, but sort of I thought defensively they were fine. Like there's nobody I really want to be pissed
I
about.
believe Carolina only had 10 first downs.
Yeah.
I'm shocked they even had.
I mean,
that
Carolina
number.
had a total of 180 yards total.
Uh-huh.
And to Washington's 420.
So all you could do when you play a team like that, if you think that you're good at all, is you got to smash them.
Yep.
And that's exactly what they did. So I wouldn't take too much more from it, but they did smash them. And now every week's a new week.
Mhm.
I definitely think the Bears game is going to be tougher than I had anticipated.
Well,
That's
it's going to be
gonna-
tougher than that game yesterday, without a
100%.
doubt.
Especially if you don't have Jaden.
The Jayden thing will be interesting
Let's
to
just
see
keep
how they
our fingers
handle
crossed that he's back.
All
If
right, we'll
he-
be
if he's banged up at all, they're going to hold him out.